I'm a huge fan of this team. I see Nick Daniels and Daniels-Haltom as the professionals in the room, those with integrity, those with honesty, those with character, those with trustworthiness, those who are going to bring back the stature that we need in this union every single day moving forward.
So you're right. The potential to continue and increase the membership and be one of the largest membership regions. There's a consistent talk about Region X and different initiatives that we could do, which Jamal and I would be completely in support of. Putting out the information in front of our membership. So let's look at all of our different bargaining units. Let's look at the size, the strength. How many members have joined Region X? And you have to start putting that out. Look at OSF Fast Group right now and the energy that they're building on. See Alan Casey out, continuously working to increase awareness, and it's using and capitalizing on ideas like that. What's working for Alan? What message is being missed? And just continuing to revamp that.
Being a member of a labor union is something that we all share. So visiting those locations, opportunities to go in, meet the people where they are, show the impact of having national leadership come around. You're going to lose the engagement of the people if you keep trying to steal their ideas. We've consistently said that. If you're not willing to identify where the information's coming from, if you're not willing to engage in building those relationships, and if those relationships are only so you can say, look what I did, then you're going to be I alone trying to do that. So
we need some member-driven legislative, or how to say, membership-driven and led legislation as well. But looking at how do we help them with their dollar and the buying power with the backing of the government, and how we were going to teach rep training. And it was, we could do a different one for Region X and then one for air traffic. And we all collectively said in that room that day that as long as we were in the room, that would never happen, because of how important it is to have every one of our members together as one family. It's not two different NACAs. It's not a Region X NACA and an FAA or air traffic NACA. It's one, and we need to learn more about each other. We need to be in the room more often and continuously figure out how we can help one another.
That we're pro telework and pro remote work, and we're also pro doing our part to make sure that that happens. We show the capability of getting the work done, and we make the agency identify what work isn't being done that is an impediment to having telework or remote work. We know the cost of almost everything in the United States and the world, for that matter, has gone up, and telework's a way to offset that.
Ultimately, I think what it takes is a person who is willing to go out and be with the membership, some extroverts, that's as Jamal and I are, and engage those members, have that connectivity again, and believe in one another. And as we're attacking that hill, we're taking everybody with us. It's not, hey, you all go do it, let us know if it worked. We'll be back here and hope it went well. So
that you have integrity, that you put service before self, and you try to be excellent in all that you do. You have to be serving the members at all times. And when we get tired of that, we have to put our hand down and say, it's time for someone to replace us. You guys need OJTI pay, no different than controllers do, and it needs to be accounted for. You're transferring knowledge. They're taking people with no experience or a different experience, hiring them into your specific specialties, and then you train them with no acknowledgement of it in your pocketbooks. Election will be a referendum on what our membership wants. We've ran a campaign that we think we could be proud of, one that's been free of things such as that. And to your point, where there are receipts, we do have to show them, but show them tactfully, as to not get pulled down into the mudslinging.
But ultimately, somebody has to stand up to the bullies, right? And that's where Jamal and I come into play. You have to do that. Sometimes we have to be, I would say, today we released a video. I put one out about, the inset process. And we have great ideas for it. We think opportunities have been missed. In 3 years, if we're successful, the next election won't look anything like this. It'll be stand on your merits, it doesn't matter who you're supporting, support one another, because that's how Jamal and I are. We don't care if it's a rich and mixed supporter or anyone coming up and saying, man, I just don't agree with you guys. Great. Let's have great conversations about who we are and how we can get better as a union. That's where we need to move to. That's what our leadership experiences taught us. And we know I don't need to be the face of it. Jamal doesn't need to be the face of this union. You all are the face of this union. And people can say it. They can say the great words of, we believe in you and you're going to be the best. Or somebody's going to take the time to actually do it. They're going to show up at your facility. They're going to meet with the new members. We met with an entire group of brand new hires. I could not believe it was a group of 7 potential members in a room. And we just sat around and talked, not about just union, but about who they are, their background, where they come from, what was their major in college. That's where this family grows and builds from. And I think that's what the kind of leaders you have to elect next. Direct question. First, the first thing we need is not only a contract article, is a president and executive vice president that are going to set the example from collaboration. ATX, it has a Region X presence because of Bob, because of Brad, and watching all of you, Nicole Wysong, Mark, and so many others take it and run with it to a different level. So make sure not only when we're moving this union forward to another direction, that we take the time and opportunity to appreciate those who are out grinding and making sure your voice is heard every single day. We will know immediately when we pay proposals across to the agency and there are draconian executive orders in effect, what is going to be the tone and tempo that the White House, that the Department of Transportation is going to bring forward for us. So all of these things must be done, but what we can't do, as you said, is just be willing to walk into a slaughter and say, we'll tough it out because we believe in you forward. It takes leaders that are willing to fight on all fronts and not just kick in the front door only. Jamal and I could sit comfortable. Jamal is the national training representative. He has redefined that role, and you see how he's leveraging that into Region X through this town hall. I love being the Southwest Regional Vice President, but I fundamentally do not agree with the direction that we're going. The more that we disconnect from our membership, especially in examples with Region X, the more that we decide to, try to leave events early, fly out as soon as we can, or not take the time to break bread, connect. Those things are going to help us move forward. It builds trust. It gives us the ability to connect like this, and ultimately, we're going to work with one another to how do we champion the ideas, because now it's just not my idea, it's our idea, because we took the time to engage and to talk about an RVP position again. I become a controller back at Fort Worth Center or the president of this union. Either way, I stand by what the members choose. But I think the members choose to unity. I think that they are choosing to have their voice heard again. I think that they're choosing to not be felt like there's an NEB above them, and that they are just waiting to be told what to do.
But more importantly, in a different aspect, is how the agency interacts with these two. With Daniels-Haltom was at a slam. I didn't know him. I had never met him before. And I immediately thought, now who the heck is that guy talking? The agency is deferring to him. The agency has true respect for him. You could tell they have true trust. They could tell he was the expert in the room for what she was presenting, being training. He had agency counterparts with him. Everyone deferred to Jamal. Everyone in the room was incredibly respectful, but more so, questions were geared towards Jamal on how we, agency and NACA, can move forward with regards to training, because that was and is his primary function for this union in the role that we've put him in. Incredibly successful, but it's that respect that he has because he's honest, because he's direct, because he's trustworthy. Nick Daniels, the first time I met Daniels, I was in Washington, D.C. at a dinner with Paul Rinaldi when I first became a regional vice president. And talk about a firecracker. All of you who have met Nick know that energy. It's not a turn on and turn off thing. He doesn't turn it on in front of us and then shut it off and then it's just calm Nick. Nick is 100% NACA, 100% membership, 100% the collective bargaining agreement and our rights. And I would have the confidence in him supporting the entirety of Region X and the entirety of this union to what our needs are moving forward and our ability to challenge when the agency steps on our rights.
This Region X has over 1,000 voting members. You can be the difference in this election, but that's if you you gather everyone to vote. If you turn out at only 20%, then we don't collectively harness the same power. Here, you want your motivation? The agency's going to be looking to see what our collective turnout is. If it's 4,000 nationwide out of 15,000 voting members, we'll see how serious we are. The more that you amplify that and show that we will stand, whether we win by 1 vote or by thousands of votes, that this union will not sit quietly while the agency chooses or picks our path for us. That we'll be together on it every step of the way. Thank you all. Appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your evening.